Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you're all doing alright. It is Sunday the 8th of December and today I'm gonna have a go at something. Or maybe not today, but I've found something that has caught my eye and I'm going to give it a go. I'm gonna try and audition for some voiceover work. So I just started following a Twitter account for a studio called No Studio in Particular, and they put out like voice casting calls and stuff. And I think I've got a good speaking voice. I can read. I can do all sorts of different voices to varying degrees of success. So I figured I'd give it a go. I saw them post something for a project they have coming up. And I'm gonna give it a go, I think. This character, so it's a 90-year-old fella, so I'm aiming a bit above the bar, shall we say. I'm not quite 90 years old, but basically this 90-year-old decillionaire, i.e. he's got a 34-figure salary or something. He's a very wealthy man, 90 years old. He is practically a centennial. His vocal cords are among the few things he hasn't had replaced. The rest of his body is still fighting fit, so he has to sound old, decrepit, strained and raspy, but strong-winded, with an American accent. So definitely not starting off with an easy one. I mean, my American's actually suffered a little bit because I've not had to really do it for ages. So, spend a bit of time trying to get to... Yeah, that's kind of it. Sort of what I call the generican accent. Is just kind of a generic American, nowhere in particular. Nowhere special. It's just an American accent, like your traditional sort of thing. It's not as good as it used to be. It's alright, I think. But I don't know. I'm sure that spending some time in Canada helped to bring it back. I had someone at work the other day say that I sounded like I was from the US or something like that. Which wasn't true. I'm not. So American I can kind of do. I've just got to age this voice to like 90 years old, like because how's that for that's kind of old and raspy but not really strong. It's Billy Connolly is what that is, which is also Scottish and not right. Because I don't want to end up as like a rusty old American businessman, because I imagine that's kind of where everyone else is going for. I don't really want to end up there, but maybe that's kind of what they're looking for. Kind of talking outside the mouth a little bit and taking the accent right down into the South and just kind of using the vocal cords a bit more to kind of rasp it a bit. I don't know. I've got some lines, okay, so this first one has to be show me confident and knowing. So for that, were it just to be a generic American accent, would be come one, come all, and join the treasure rush. But I need to kind of age it a bit. It's like, come on, come all, and join the treasure rush. Oh, that's not old enough. That's not like 90 years old, is it? But it's kind of fit. Do you know what? Maybe we should just go with that. Come on, come all, and join the treasure rush. And then the second line is twisted, sadistic glee, indulgent. I live for the hunt, be it animal. Oh, twisted and sadistic. Because that's just sounded like the first one, didn't it? Come on, come on, and join the treasure rush. I live for the hunt, be it animal or financial. Furious and demanding. I don't pay you to sit there clutching your bullet holes. Get back out there and kill something. That's nice and easy. Hurt though. Bitter, cynical, and reserved rage. Okay, so this is just my natural voice. Don't ever have kids. First they take your money for 17 years, and then they try to murder you. I don't know, I feel like this is a wee bit out of my depth, this first one. Worst that can happen is they say no. You never know if you don't give it a go, right? Well, I recorded it and sent it off. This was pretty much the voice that I decided to go with, so we'll see what happens. Deadline is on the 14th, which is Saturday, I believe. Saturday coming up. So I'm not expecting to hear back on this until at some point next week. But we shall see. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And, you know, worst that can happen is that they say no, and we'll just have to try again next time. But, I don't know. We'll see. It's an interesting moment. Very interesting. Kind of excited. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hi everyone, it is Monday. The 9th of December. And I hope that everyone is alright. Further to what we were talking about a few weeks ago, mini cheddars get an honourable mention as well. The bags are quite small. That's what stops them from getting on the list. But missed. Other than that, mini cheddars are not a bad shout. Today I have work because it's a weekday and because Christmas means busyness, as I say very, very often indeed. Oh, there's a bauble on the drive over there. I don't think it's supposed to be there. Yeah, I got work in a couple of hours, so I need to get ready for that, which I'm going to do. I'm going to have some lunch, and then and then I'm going to go to work. I will edit in the voice clip that I sent them. I'm not feeling too optimistic about it. I think it was a little bit of a stretch.
Come one, come all, and join the treasure rush. I live for the hunt, be it animal or capital. I don't pay you to sit there clutching your bullet holes. Get back out there and kill something. Don't ever have kids. First, they take your money for 17 years. And then they try to murder you.
You never know unless you give it a go, so I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of excited though. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if it actually happens? I'll be in a video game. And I'll have to play it. Which is fine, because I'm not having a lot of luck with the games that I want to play at the moment. I never got around to actually getting a Let's Play series started. So we will we'll pick things up again in the new year, I reckon, because my workload is pretty big currently, and I probably shouldn't give myself more stuff to do. So in the new year we shall start again fresh with something else, something where the sound will record, something that works on the channel, and something that records in the correct aspect ratio and that I don't get copyright claimed for. Oh, there's too many hoops to jump through these days. Hi everyone, it is Wednesday the 11th of December, and I hope that everyone is doing okay. Where are you, number 11? There you are. Can you tell a Christmas joke? Ooh, good one. Don't suppose I can, really. So I guess the answer to that is snow. I can't. I think chocolate tastes different at different times of the year. I just feel like winter chocolate tastes nicer than chocolate throughout the rest of the year. And I don't know why. I don't know if that is actually a thing, but I feel like it is. It's only certain kinds as well. So like dairy milk definitely has a flavour change at various points throughout the year. And I think Mars bars do as well. Mars bars tend to I find have the flavour of the chocolate change as the year goes on. I don't know if that's because like the cocoa beans are different at different parts of the year, or if they do actually just change the composition of their chocolate a little bit throughout the year. I don't know. Definitely tastes different to me though at different points throughout the year. Hi everyone, good afternoon. How are we all? Hope you're all doing alright. It's Thursday the 12th of December, and that means that here in the UK it is election day. We have a vote to try and get ourselves a brand new Prime Minister, because the one we've had for the past 2 months has been shockingly bad. But he took over from someone else who was shockingly bad. We're in a real pickle at the moment, as I'm sure everyone on the entire planet knows. Essentially, I don't tend to talk about politics on the channel because I don't really understand it. Then again, who does? We're essentially between a rock, a hard place, a boulder, a solid surface, and other pseudonyms for those things. As people know, I'm sure, for some reason, people of the UK elected to leave the European Union about 3 years ago now, and we still haven't done it, despite sailing past every deadline. We're still nowhere near to getting it done. It was supposed to be done March this year, I think, and that didn't happen. So then we had October 31st, which didn't happen, and then it was extended until some point in January, I think, is the day when we're going to leave, but it remains doubtful. Essentially today we need to decide who our next Prime Minister is going to be, and from what I gather, the general mood of the country is you can vote for the Conservatives if you hate humanity, or you can vote for literally anyone else. We're not really picking who's the best, we're just picking who's the least bad. That's the impression that I'm getting. I think the general way of summing it up is that you can vote for the Conservatives, who lie and are going to bring the country to its knees and beyond in an effort to avoid paying their shares of taxes and make themselves richer. Or you can vote for Labour, who have a history of anti-Semitism. Or you can vote for the Liberal Democrats, who want to revoke Britain leaving the EU and therefore goes against democratic decision and will cause riots and uprising, bringing the country to its knees and beyond. You can vote for the Scottish National Party, who will then elect for Scotland to leave the UK anyway. You can vote for the Brexit Party, who are racist. You can vote for Plaid Cymru, who are Welsh. No, I don't know much about Plaid Cymru, other than the fact that they are Welsh. May go and vote for them, because what does it matter? Essentially, there's plenty of reasons to not vote for anyone, but not very many reasons to vote for anyone. The only reason to vote for someone today is to stop the Conservatives from getting into power again. Fundamentally, I've joked about the fact that the rest of the world laughs at the UK when it comes to politics, but actually, you're well within your right to. Anyone from outside the UK who's watching this unfold is probably laughing themselves silly, and you are absolutely right to, because it is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of elections we have had and votes that we have had for things that we don't need to vote or elect for over the past few years is absurd. We've had, what? It feels like we've had 3 Prime Ministers in as many years, and given how they should have 4 years a term, I think it's absolutely absurd. And the voting system itself is awful. You don't get to vote for the person you want. Right? It's weird. So, well, I don't think that's the case in this instance. I think in this instance we are literally voting for a Prime Minister, so it will literally be Boris Johnson or Jeremy Corbyn or Joe Swinson or whoever the hell else anyone else is, Nicola Sturgeon, whoever any of the other representatives are. But when it comes down to various other elections and stuff like that, when it's an actual one as opposed to one of these snap ones that's just been called because it's all tactical. Like, Boris Johnson called this election to try and secure his power as Prime Minister, which is what Theresa May did last year, and she very nearly lost everything, and then she drove the country into the dirt and lost everything. So I think that's what Boris Johnson's doing on this occasion, is that he's called this election to try and strengthen his power, but I think it's backfired royally based on all the news that I've read. But when it comes to elections and stuff, we don't generally get to vote for the person that we want or the party we want. We have to vote locally. So if a Labour government was to get into power, then enough local constituencies need to vote for a Labour candidate to represent them to then get Labour in power. Does that make sense? Probably not, because it doesn't. Like, so this is essentially the thing, is that if I was to go into a polling station and vote for a party, and then the rest of my local area went in and voted for another party, mine and everyone else's vote for the person who didn't get in is just completely discredited. So if I was to go in and vote Labour, everyone else in the local area voted Tory, then the Tories would win this seat, this local seat. And then, depending on the amount of local seats, that tells you who's going to get into power. So, right, exactly. It can't just be a case of, I want this person, therefore I am going to vote for this person. It has to be, I'm going to vote for this person, and then I need enough other people to vote for this person within my local area to get them into Parliament, and then I need enough other people in other local areas to vote for their representative from that party to then get into Parliament, and then if there is a majority of the representatives from that party in Parliament, then they get to lead. It's absurd. There are so many levels you need to unlock before you can actually get into... Is that first past the post, or is that proportional representation? Those are the two voting systems. I think it's proportional representation, whereas first past the post is literally whoever gets the most votes wins, which is what I thought a vote was supposed to be, but apparently not. Anyway, I'm going to go and make my vote now, and hopefully by tomorrow the country will not be crippled any further than it already has been. That is literally all we can hope for here. Like, we'll wake up tomorrow and someone will be in power. We can't even go, it'll be better tomorrow. All we can do is go, hopefully it won't be any worse. And bearing in mind our current Prime Minister steals reporters' phones and hides in fridges and just outright deceives. Frankly, anything's got to be better. And that's the state that we're in at the moment. It shouldn't be a case of anything's got to be better than what we've got. I've got Twitter open at the moment. Not that I ever really use Twitter, it's just something that I have and is open. 7 of the top 10 London trends are to do with voting and politics and the election. It is Friday, the 13th of December, and with all the ominousness and bad news that day tends to bring, predictably, the Conservatives won the vote. Which means the country is being brought to its knees and beyond, because apparently everyone hates humanity and has been swayed by outrageous lies and propaganda and all the rest of it. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe actually it's not as bad as it seems, but everyone seems pretty miserable about it. So, I don't know. There was part of me that hoped that actually there was going to be a time for change. and that everyone was going to see the light, but no, for some reason everyone seems to think the country would be better off without police, fire and emergency services. So, oh well, don't ask the public anything. There was a stand-up comedian who said that when it comes to governance and when you have parties that are trying to get themselves elected, what they shouldn't, if you've got someone who's already in power, they shouldn't be making promises for things they're going to deliver. What they should be doing is they should be doing good things and going, see all this stuff we've already done? We're just going to carry on doing that. We're going to do more of that. They shouldn't be saying, well, if you elect us, then we're going to try and make this better and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Someone should get in power on their merits and the good stuff that they do and then go, see all that? We're going to keep doing that. And we're going to get better by doing that. Having said that, the Tories can't really do that because that would need for them to have done something great in the first place, which they haven't. But what can you do other than go out and vote and then not have your vote counted because the number of votes aren't what's counted, it's the number of representatives that are elected. It's farcical, but there's absolutely no way to really deal with it. I've thought about setting up my own party once or twice, but I have absolutely no interest in getting involved in politics. All I'd be doing is setting it up so that I can just shout at people, basically. So I've been playing this new mobile game called Homescapes. I'm sure you may have heard of it. It's essentially a tile matching game where you help a butler by the name of Austin redecorate his parents' decaying house, basically. And it's safe to say that Austin is ruining my life because he just does not appreciate the amount of effort that I'm putting into restoring his parents' house. Nor do his parents, actually, and that's what's really upsetting as well. Don't get me wrong, every now and then he pays me a little bit of credit for the hard work I do. Because essentially when you beat each level you earn stars and then you spend those stars to perform various home improvement tasks that need doing around the house. And at the end of every day his parents are like, oh my goodness, Austin, you've made the house look so beautiful. And I'm like, no, I made the house look beautiful. I was the one who played the games. I'm the one who did the hard work. But Austin gets all the credit. And I'm just seriously regretting the friendship that he and I have. It's all give, no take. No. Well, I'm giving, Austin's taking. There's no back and forth. It's really quite upsetting. I logged in earlier and he said, there's no place like home. I just wish I had someone to help me clean it up. And it's like, what have I been doing for the past week and a bit that I've been playing this game? It's fundamentally very frustrating, and I just don't think I can go. I mean, I'm going to carry on because it's a mildly addicting game, but Austin really winds me up. Should anyone from the Homescapes development team ever see this, I hope that you turn Austin into a more likeable person, a person who is more acknowledging of the assistance his friends provide him. I did a load of work on his house, and his dad came in and flooded the kitchen. And then I had to go and do a lot more work to get the kitchen unflooded and repair everything he broke. He put his foot through a floorboard. Austin's dad's a disaster. Currently we're filming a cooking show in our kitchen with Austin's mother. I can only imagine how many fires I'm going to have to put out, quite literally. Oh well. That's not for today though, because I'm off to work now. I've got it's a mildly busy evening. I'm heading in a little bit early. I've got to finish off my Christmas shopping. I'm going to get some lunch and then work myself hard until... Don't take that out of context, please. Work myself into the ground for 9 hours until midnight, come home and then be back into open tomorrow morning. I will see you all in another video. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a good day. Bye!